Welcome to Fontana, California, here to the Auto Club Speedway. Tonight, we start Season 6 of the NAOR Cup Series as Jonathan Parker will look to defend his championship and start his run tonight. But we'll see if anyone throughout this long season, if anyone can top Jonathan Parker. But first, tonight, before we get to the race tonight, we have qualifying. As qualifying currently underway is a little bit different compared to last year. One lap for qualifying, and that's all you get. No open qualifying, no separate rounds. One lap for 5 minutes for every single driver. That's all they get. And also a few other changes. No stage cautions. We'll get to that in a little bit as well. But currently on the racetrack, we have a few drivers on the racetrack. Currently, no one has set a time, as we do have a few drivers on their first lap. Jake Millsap on his first lap. Ethan Fonseca Moreno back from season 5. As he is now down the back straightaway looking to start lap number 2, and he's going to run down to the bottom here in 1 and 2. Right on that white line, a little bit off of it. But off of turn 4, Moreno coming to the line to complete his first lap. Will probably be the fastest. 41.060, and that will be enough for P number 1. As first lap will be his fastest, as he did not set up for second lap. So looks like the first lap will probably be the way to go, but Moreno on top of the board so far. Millsap on his first lap of 41.962. His time is starting to flood in now. Maggio's at the top of the board, as everyone's really going for their first lap. Hunter Peach coming across the line, starting his lap. See what he does here in turn 1 and 2. He's going to run the bottom of the racetrack. That seems to be the fastest lane around so far. Bottom at 1 and 2, and bottom at 3 and 4. Kind of surprising because we do have a pretty hot track out here tonight. Hunter Peach down the back straightaway, putting it right on that seam, staying a little bit off the wall. Down into 3 and 4. Driving it in deep. A little bit up the racetrack, just a little bit.
Off of turn 4, it's going to be a 41.2, puts him inside the top 10 and 9th.
No, actually just dropped him out to 11th, as we believe we have Chris Wright moving up.
Jonathan Parker goes up to second.
Jonathan Parker move up to second.
And Chris Wright in third as well, like you mentioned.
Oh, but Mark Kissweather, as he was starting his lap, he got in the wall in 3 and 4. He's the last driver on the racetrack. As him and Sam Wade, the only two you have to set a lap time, but Sam Wade is clicked and ready to race, so he will forfeit his qualifying run. So Mark Kissweather, the final driver for qualifying. He's out of the time for a second lap, so he's already messed up his first lap by hitting the wall in 3 and 4, so not going to get a good run. So probably set up for a second lap here. We'll see if the tires hold on enough. He should have enough time. So 1 minute 20 seconds and a lap and a half to go. He's going to go down to the bottom of 3 and 4, so he's going to just go for it. Mark Kissweather on the white line, a good run through the corner. Let's see if he can pick it up. He did not run. He was the only driver in the field to not set a practice time. Mark Kissweather across the line. 41.491. They'll put him P19. He's going to have a lot of work to do tonight.
Yeah, now I'm going to go for a second lap, knowing that the first lap has been quicker so far tonight. So a lot of work for that 15 machine to get back out in front.
And that means Steven Maggio will be our pole sitter, our DI9 Designs Pole Award. We'll go, the first one of the season will go to the 51 of Steven Maggio. We'll see what Maggio can do out front tonight with that track position. He's the only driver in the 40-second bracket.
Yeah, very good qualifying session for him. His qualifying officially wrapping up here in 10 seconds in a moment. So we take a quick break. He'll be right back here for the starting lineup at Auto Club.
White flag, 1 lap to go. You see Prod Bennett, he makes his move into turn 1. Side by side with race lead. Bears the stick with the 24 machine of Steiner. Peach gets into the wall. Gets to allow Adams into the inside. Side trap to 3. Adams trying to pull the slider. Side by side off turn 4. They're going to make a little bit of contact. Parker
Does he have enough fuel? Can he get the run off turn 4? Kyle Todd in the race lead. Does he have enough? Into 3 and 4. Both these drivers both saving in the entire run. Can he stretch enough fuel? Parker loose on the bottom. He's going to lose it. Kyle Todd, he's going to save enough fuel. He's going to win at Fontana.
Have to keep an eye on against the weather. He's going to get a good run, but Parker's going to shut the door. Behind him, there's Porter and Moreno.
Moreno's going to dive to the inside. They're making contact for lead. The corner Moreno. But Parker, he's going to have a run because he's down in 3. He's going to go 3 wide. 3 wide for the teammates for the lead. Drag race to the line. Jaden Porter is going to win it. Clippy goes around off turn 2. Happy goes around as well. Big Rax behind him. Cole Snyder is going to win the season opener at Atlanta. Down the back straightaway, here comes the outside lane. Cole Snyder getting pushed by Cody McCorkle. Nathan Lemon in the lead on the bottom with Giovanni Klein pushing. Zachary Marion right there in third. Coming to the trial one more time. It's Nathan Lemon. Klein going to try and pull the side trap right at the line. Nathan Lemon is going to pick up the win. Moreno tries to clear. Owens clears himself, making contact with Klein. Klein gets to the wall.
Oh, Adams! Tell you why.
A big move.
What a move there.
Clay Parker, side by side, to the line. It's going to be a drag race. They both run out. They get pushed by Happy Egg across the line by 1/1000th of a second. But Jonathan Parker, he locked it up at the end of stage 1. Jonathan Parker, our season 5 champion. Welcome back here to Auto Club Speedway. We've just wrapped up qualifying, and we're going to get NAOR Season 6 underway here in just a few seconds, as we do have 2 pace laps before we get going. But Steve DiMaggio on the pole, and here is our Cultus Karts starting lineup for tonight's race number 1 of Season 6, as Steve DiMaggio on the pole with a 40.946. And then the only driver in the 42nd bracket. Alongside him will be the 48, our defending champion of Jonathan Parker. Chris Wright will start P number 3 in that 28 machine, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno will start 4th, as our graphics have ticker has crashed a little bit, so we're trying to fix that up in a second. There it is. Jonathan Parker 2nd, Chris Wright 3rd, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno will start 4th. Nick Capiak around our top 5 in that 6 Juicy Spider machine. Jared Skinner will be alongside him in the starting 6th. Zachary Evans will start 7th tonight. Braden Holt will start 8th. Starting 9th tonight will be the 14 of Nathan Lemon. Josh Adams will round out our top 10. Starting 11th will be the Josh Arnold, and starting 12th will be the 20 of Hunter Beach. John Osborne will start 13th, and the 9 Designs Pizza Wings machine of Cole Steiner will start 14th. 15th will be Kyle Taub, and Giovanni Klein will be alongside him. Mike Campbell will start 17th tonight, and alongside him will be the 05 High Side podcast of Brock Morris. Mark Kissweather, the Wii Sports Machine, Classic Wii Sports Machine, will start 19th, and alongside him will be 38, and Justin Quimby will start 20th. 21st tonight will be the 10 machine of Stephen Brynock, and alongside him will be the 13 of Jake Millsap. And our 23 car field tonight will be the 27 of Sam Wade. These 23 drivers will go for 88 laps. It's to see who will be the season season 6 opener. We'll have a moment during this extra pace lap. You find him in the Discord. Actually, he's not in the Discord, so we're gonna bring in our pole sitter of Steve DiMaggio, but not in the Discord as I can see. So Jonathan Parker will start alongside him, trying to go back to back and win the Season 6 championship. We'll see how they go. Last time we were here at Auto Club, came down to fuel mileage. A great battle between Jonathan Parker, Kyle Taub, but we'll see if they can if that will happen again. But Steve DiMaggio, see what he can do. He's got the pole. He's been the fastest so far tonight. Also, we'll see a lot of drafts. Draft's going to be a pretty big important factor, and as well with dirty air. That's just managing that. It's going to be perfect. But also tonight we have 2 stages, lap 22 and lap 44. But there is no stage caution, and there's about 40 lap on a fuel tank. So we could see if someone tries to save a few extra laps of fuel We'll find that out in a little bit. But the pace car going to take that hard left turn onto pit road. Maggio Parker leads to the Geico Research Zone, and NAOR Cup Series Season 6 is underway. Off to a great start, Stephen Maggio clear by for the race lead by a few car lengths as everyone tries to settle in line behind now. As here they go fly by the starter stand for the first time of the night at full speed. And the first time for the season, but everyone single files out pretty quickly to the outside lane. Just got a few drivers down to the bottom trying to make that inside lane work. Jared Skinner being one of those. That green juice spider network machine down on the bottom. Is just right. Joe Skinner and Josh Adams currently side by side. First drivers side by side on the racetrack. Everyone else in front of them single file, just trying to break each other's drafts. As everyone's trying to break the draft. Fishtail down the straightaways, trying to slide in line. It's just trying to slide in line. Don't want to get freight trained here. Draft very important here at Auto Club. So far, Nick Capiak able to clear up in front of Jared Skinner. Josh Adams able to get cleared by
we got
cleared by Jared Skinner.
car very loose in the background there. I'm not sure who it was exactly. It might have been John Osborne.
Here's Hunter Peach 3 wide is now Capiak will slot back in line behind Skinner, but Peach going for the 3 wide move, not gonna be able to make it work. She'll be side by side with Skinner off of turn number 4. The top 4 is set up, pulled away just a little bit. Top 3.
That's Parker right on the back bumper of Maggio right now. Pretty much tandem out in front of even front second Moreno.
Yeah, Moreno, we haven't seen it. We didn't really see him in the back half of the season for season 5, but he was very dominant in that first half of the season. Won multiple races along with his teammates of Jonathan Parker and Jaden Porter. Those 3 drivers were very great all season long, very dominant. It was Jonathan Parker, the solo rider for that team. At the end of last season, he took it all the way to the championship. Now he's trying to pull them all the way up in front again. But right now, Hunter Peach single file back in line. He's bringing the rest of the field back together.
Yeah, I think the biggest change this season is definitely the no stage cautions. We saw a couple times those drivers may flip the stages, take 2 tires, possibly no tires even. Doing some of those stage cautions. That's not really going to be as big of a strategy at all. So it's 2 less guaranteed cautions, which I think will really change up these types of tracks, at least like Auto Club, Michigan, the 1.5 mile tracks. It will really change up the strategy, tire strategy, and fuel strategy overall as well.
Yes, Session, we'll see how these drivers kind of play their tire strategy as well. They have to kind of back it off a little bit in those first few stages, and you won't really see everybody like having to pit at the end of the stages. So we'll be able to see the fuel strategy tonight, especially with the fuel strategy tonight. 40 laps on fuel, 75% fuel, just like we have before, but only roughly around 40 laps. Now that is a bare minimum. What iRacing gave me off the rip, but 3 wide for second now.
Now for the race lead.
Hunter Peach going all the way for the lead. A great move. Hunter Peach trying to get up front, trying to get that early track position out front. He's going to be able to do it maybe off turn 4, but Stephen Maggio going to hold it outside. We'll see if Parker can push Maggio clear of Peach. As we're going to get a little bit side drafted down the first straightaway.
Just side by side here in turn 1 and 2. I think the outside lane is going to be the preferred lane here in 1. 1, 2 here. Peach kind of the lone car on the bottom. Parker's going to go with him for a bit. I think off of turn 2, Parker's going to be helping Maggio on the top side.
Yeah, Parker just doesn't want to leave that outside lane, and Peach has to slide in line quickly, and he slots in line himself, slams the door shut on Ethan Fonseca Moreno. That's going to leave him and Cole Snyder side by side as Snyder was moving his way up through the field. as he's now side by side with Moreno, and he's going to be able to clear Moreno off up turn number 4, but he's actually now going to get to the inside of Hunter Peach, so Hunter Peach had a little bobble off 4.
Yeah, Cole Steiner won the opening last season in Atlanta. We'll see if he can go back-to-back and win the Opens in Season 5 and Season 6 as well.
We'll slide it behind Moreno now as Moreno clears with the draft help of Hunter Peach. The back to our fuel mileage, about 40 laps, so just what iRacing gave me. You can probably see if maybe a lap or 2 in the draft, also depending on how much the tire wear is really going to fall off. We could see someone try to stretch it to the end of stage number 2 and pick up the stage 2 win, and also make it a one-stop race, because 88 laps, stage number 2 ends at halfway, so you could see if someone tries to make it all the way to one stop. It's going to be a pretty long stretch, but we could see it happen. But I think so far tonight we're probably going to be looking for a 2-stop around lap 40, lap 80, so we're probably going to see probably some maybe some pit stops at the end of stage 1. You could see a couple strategy calls there.
Yeah, if you want to split this race in, if you only go 40 laps, you have to pit at least twice. So I mean, maybe you split it up into kind of thirds, like pit around lap 30, pit around lap 60 or so, and have thirds. And also, you'd be pretty good for the stages as well. Right now, already 10 laps into this one, off of turn 4, and Maggio doing a great job holding the race lead. That's kind of just how the clean air works here. Clean air very dominant here at a track like Auto Club and this next gen car. Also, like you mentioned, probably burning up a little bit more fuel out front compared to the drivers drafting behind. As Mark Kiswell up to 6th place.
A great drive so far. He's been working his way through the field. He started all the way back in 19th, and now he's up to 6th, looking for 5th on Nick Hapiak. Oh, around 6th is just kind of everyone's just fanning out into the corners, single filing on the straightaways, just trying to build those runs as where they can. The side-by-side for 4th now between Peach and Moreno. As Moreno trying to use the bottom, but he's going to slot back up in front of Giovanni Klein, going to shut that door. As Nick Hapiak has tried to get in front of Mark Kisweather. Kisweather now on the outside, going to be able to get by Hapiak. Be side-by-side through 1 and 2, but a lot of these drivers are in the top lane. Going to be careful. They want to burn up that right front up there.
As Peach almost in the outside wall as well. Right there off of turn 2.
Side by side off of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, Moreno just trying to slot back in line. Here comes Kisweather all the way down to the bottom, 3 wide, all the way to the apron. He's actually only going to end up being side by side with Moreno, but he's going to be able to try and slide his way up. Just stick to the bottom in 1 and 2 though. We'll see if he can maybe clear Peach off the corner. He's going to be making a lot of ground up there. He's side by side with Klein. Off of turn number 2, he's going to have to try and pull Klein back as much as possible. He's going to slam the door shut right in front of Moreno, but Moreno's going to try and go back low and try to cross him over. A little bit of contact, actually Parker out on the wall, a little bit entering 3, that allows Cole Steiner to the bottom, and a little bit of door taps through 3 and 4. That's not a match, he'll pull away by a little bit, but now Peach, where does he go? He's going to push the outside lane with Jonathan Parker. Giovanni Klein going to follow him. Cole Steiner now going to kind of get a freight train on the outside lane.
As here comes the outside. Will they look to inside Maggio? No, they won't. To stay behind for now. But Peach and Giovanni Klein really ripping the top side.
Peach cleared of Cole Steiner now as Giovanni Klein going to try and push up to Hunter Peach, but now Mark Kisweather onto the inside of Cole Steiner. He's looking 3 wide into 3 and 4. Can he make it work? The outside lane, 3 and 4, typically the slower lane, but you just have to get your way up if you're on the bottom. 3 wide there for a second. Mark Kisweather all the way to the bottom, trying to shorten the distance as much as possible as Cole Steiner slots up in front of Moreno, and everyone up on the top lane except for Chris Wright and Mark Kisweather. Chris Wright's farther in the back there, just out of the frame. But off of turn number 2, these top 2 of Maggio and Parker trying to pull away a little bit. The Peach with the run on the high lane. Oh, contact into the wall! Kyle Top, I believe. Maybe one other driver
Nathan
there
Lamon.
into the wall. Nathan Lamon.
As he's
Heavy
very
right front
slow.
damage. Yeah, heavy right front damage. I would not be surprised if he has some wheel damage there. That was a pretty heavy hit to the outside wall. Take a look at what happened. Just kind of met off the exit of the corner here with Josh Adams on the bottom.
Pretty
Three wide
wide.
off the corner.
Yeah, it's kind of
Josh Adams
together.
Wow, just a little bit of contact that sent Nathan Lamont, got him sideways and just snapped right back to the outside wall. 3-yard hit, but everyone keeps it straight. And we stay green here. Lap number 15 is now Moreno. Big down to the bottom. He tries to get by Cole Snyder, but now Mark Kisswiller follows Snyder through on the outside of Moreno. That's now everyone pretty much running the top here. So no one really saving a lot of their tires so far in this run. Marcus Weather dives it all the way back to the bottom. Now he's worked his way up from 19th, and he's been easily our biggest mover so far. But now he's kind of got up to that top 6, and now he's just kind of halted. He just can't find his hole on the outside lane. He's just trying to make the move on the bottom, but just can't do it. He can't find the hole up, and now he's gonna find a hole up behind Snyder. He's probably trying again down to the 3. But now Josh Adams is gonna try and move to the inside on Marcus Weather, and he's gonna do it now side by side for that position as Josh Adams. See if he can clear Kissweather off the corner, not gonna get up, but battle for the race lead. Jonathan Parker to the bottom.
Yeah, side by side off of turn 4. Parker got a good run. And here comes Peach now going to take it 3 wide middle. For a second, yes, he will. As he sidejacks Parker on the entry of turn 1. Parker's going to clear for now. Where do you do a slider?
He's going to have to try and pull the slider in a very shallow inch. He's going to have to check up through the center of the corner. But now Peach
he's loose.
Full throttle the exit. He's going to get a little loose. He's going to get to the outside, though. Down the first turn, but Parker's going to be able to shut the door. Now Maggio falling back to 3rd. He's going to quickly get for the line. It's now he was the race leader. Now he's getting free train from the outside lane.
Pretty wide once again. Here comes Klein now up to 3rd, maybe up to 2nd here in a moment.
He's going to try and side draft Maggio back, but now we're getting into those final few laps of the stage. 5 laps to go on the stage. Everyone wants to try and get those extra stage points. We see how much they can matter. Jonathan Parker won so many stage points last season. He just locked it up at pretty much right at the final race. A little bit of contact. Giovanni Klein going to go around. Josh Adams hard on the inside wall. Hunter Peach around as well. And that's going to bring out the caution. Oh, we're going to, I believe, Kyle Taub hard on the outside wall as well. But Josh Adams, really huge hit to the inside. He's going to be heavily damaged. Kyle Taub up in the outside lane in turn 3. He's going to reset as that field exploded there. As multiple cars go around, it's receiving heavy damage.
Looks like Klein just may have got loose there. Maggio got into him there. It's kind of just a coordinating effect.
Nowhere to go, and then unfortunate for Josh Adams, right into that tire barrier. Maybe a few more feet
and Kyle
later
Taub,
that wreck happens. He's probably through. Oh,
Kyle Taub got
right there with the wall there.
I think he met with a safer barrier was. He might have been stuck in the wall.
Rode the wall,
yeah.
And it just kind of glitched him there.
Capiak,
unfortunate for Kyle Taub.
I think Nick Capiak may have gotten into him as well. I don't know how badly damaged that 6 machine is though.
Currently, the only one with required repairs is Josh Adams, so not too bad damage for all those drivers. They should be able to keep going.
Yeah, just some car contact between each other. I think most of them should be able to keep going. Nothing too severe.
Probably really severe for Kyle Taub and maybe Giovanni Klein. They might have some wheel damage, but everyone else probably mostly okay. Have to come down and fix the aero, but this will be our first caution of the night. But this won't be the end of the stage. Not entirely sure if that will officially be called the stage, because they will go back green before the stage ends, so it'll be a 1-lap shootout. But there won't be a reminder, there won't be a caution here, so it's also a thing to keep an eye out on. So this all could mean could go green to the end after this, but this restart here will be 68 to go. So it'll be a 1-stop race, so have to be able to go 39 laps on fuel. No, not 39, 29 laps on fuel. 34 laps on fuel. Fix my math up there, but everyone gonna get off a pit road the way they came, pretty much. Cole Steiner still is third, Ethan Fonseca Moreno in second, but Jonathan Parker will be the race leader. Actually, Mike Campbell staying out of the racetrack, so Mike Campbell, you try to pick up some extra stage points. He's got to hold off for one lap. I don't know, it's not really going to work this tire wear, but we could see old strategy call for stage points here, because like I said, he could also be just trying to make this race on a one stop as well. Everyone else going to have to make a one stop here on out no matter what. They could maybe try and save a little bit extra fuel and make it to lap 44. We hope to get a caution really quickly after the stage.
Yeah, top 8 do get stage points here, so watch these drivers around Josh Arnold and Nick Capiak right here on in place. They'll try to battle it out.
Keep an eye on that, but who will be able to get the stage win? Mike Campbell, can he hold on for one lap? They're not gonna really get up to full speed until turn 3, so we'll see who can get the best restart. We're gonna roll the field back to green, and we're gonna have a one-lap shootout for stage number 1. Keep in mind, no stage caution. Pace car gonna take that hard left turn onto pit road. Campbell and Parker gonna lead them back to green. Green flag back in the air. One lap to go here in stage number 1. Campbell with a good jump. He should be clear of Parker as he gets into 1. He's gonna take the. Is he gonna take the outside? He's gonna stay kind of towards the middle. He's gonna move up the racetrack. There's Moreno and Parker side by side for second. Who will be able to take the stage point? Campbell slowed through turn 1 a little bit. As now the tire life is gonna show. Parker's kind of stuck behind him. As Moreno's gonna go side by side for the lead. Down the back straightaway, here comes Steven Maggio. He's set the drop down on Ethan Fonseca Moreno, going down to the 3. Cole Steiner goes 3 wide for second, now 4 wide for second. There's gonna be contact at the racetrack, they all go, but Ethan Fonseca Moreno all by himself out in front as everyone's gonna scramble for the rest of the stage. Fonseca Moreno will take the stage win, the side draft for second, the photo finish at the line. Steven Maggio will get second by 1/100th of a second over Cole Steiner for second place in the stage. Mike Campbell will get 4th place stage point, Sean Parker 5th. Mark Kissweather 6th, and Jared Skinner in 7th, and Chris Wright will take 8th in the final stage point for stage number 1, as everyone's going to try and cycle in now and try to settle in quick as possible.
There's a little bit more contact there. Jonathan Parker and Cole Sneger there for 5th place. This one a bit slow off the exit of turn 4.
Cole Steiner trying to shut the door. Nick Capiak, but not going to be enough, so that's going to be 3 wide there. As Josh Arnold on the bottom. Josh Arnold now going to try and look to the inside of Mark Kissenweather, but they're still 3 wide for that spot. That 6th place position. As Mike Campbell actually holding really well up front so far with those old tires. Running up there in 4th place position is now Ethan Fonseca Moreno, now still kind of holding that 3-4 car length lead. As Maggio and Parker try to single file and try to chase him back down. Down 3 wide into turn number 1. Cole Steiner on the bottom. Going to try and clear up in front of Campbell and Happy. He's will. Good move for Cole Steiner on the bottom. As on the outside, it's kind of not coming into factor. Yeah, but quick to climb into the wall a little bit. He made contact with Josh Arnold, I believe, goes around. Down the back straightaway, Zachary Mann goes around as well. No caution, we all stay green, but Josh Arnold might come back on the racetrack and bring that one out. Since down the bottom, there's the caution. As we also have the 81 around as well of John Osborne. That kind of all started with Mike Campbell, as he had a little wiggly, had a little bit of contact, and then everyone else kind of reacting behind him. Let's take a look off of turn number 2. So Johnny Klein going to get right into the back bumper of Mark Campbell. That's going to cause a checkup. Oh, Dak Commander actually just comes down into Josh Arnold there, right behind. And sends Josh Arnold down the track, and Dak Commander back up into Nathan Lamont actually. And it kind of spins John Osborne down there as well, but brings out our second caution of the night after just a few laps at the end of stage number 1. But now this is going to restart us with under 60 to go, so you can split this race half in 30 laps. So you could also try and come down and take an extra set of tires now if you want to try and work your way through the field. Everyone has 5 extra sets of tires. This might work out for Mike Campbell, because he now can pit. He was actually still holding pretty well up front with those old tires, but now he can come down and get fresh tires and work his way back up through the field. His back half pretty much comes with him.
About half the field pitting there, 12th on back. We'll see. I mean, these drivers only been 7 laps on these tires. I mean, this plays out.
So far out front, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, as he did pick up the stage win. So you can find him in the Discord to bring him in, drag him in for his stage 1 win. I don't think he's in the Discord either. So 2 drivers not in the Discord tonight, but Ethan Fonseca Moreno did pick up our stage win. Steve Maggio in second, and Johnny Klein third. Jonathan Parker in third there. Mark Kisweather fourth. As actually Mark Kisweather a little bit of left rear damage there. But on the shoes for the race leader, Ethan Fonseca Moreno going to choose the bottom with his teammate of Jonathan Parker behind him.
Not too surprising there. I mean, I think the inside's been probably the best lane on the restarts here tonight. I think the outside, it just takes a lap or 2 for the outside lane to really get going. And when you don't have the momentum, the outside lane really isn't that effective anyway. On the slower restarts, I think the inside lane is definitely the way to go for these race leaders.
You'll see where they can go. As we kind of saw that, it's just like the outside lane just takes a few laps to kind of build up, as you kind of have to wait for those tires. There's so much grip on the bottom of the racetrack with fresh tires. Once those tires start to fall off just a little bit, the outside lane starts to really get going after a couple, maybe 3, 4, 5 laps. But then it really can't run up there too much, or you really eat up your right front and overheat your right front running that top lane. So kind of just have to manage the outside lane as best as you can. But Ethan Fonseca Moreno currently still holding the lead, as he kind of just got the lead out front, got a good couple car length lead, and everyone else kept battling behind him. Allowed him to pull away just running the bottom. We'll see how this restart goes. Ethan Fonseca Moreno on the bottom. Our race leader and Steven Maggio will be on the outside. Our pole sitter, Jonathan Parker, Mark Kisweather, and Cole Steiner rest of the top 5. Pace car going to take that hard left turn onto pit road once again. Back to the Geico Restart. We're back underway here from Fontana. As Moreno gets a decent jump, he's got this push from his teammate behind him. Moreno up on the outside lane, side by side now for second between Parker and Maggio. As everyone single files it out now, trying to get single file, don't want to get freight train on the bottom yet. But down climb back to the outside lane. Moreno and Parker on the bottom as Moreno's going to try and hop up in front of Maggio. So we look clear, but side by side for second between Parker and Maggio. Parker's trying to make the inside lane work, but not able enough. Maggio's going to slide up in line in front of Klein. He's going to get to the wall. This causes a stack up, but now that allows Parker to slot up into seconds. Right now, Mark Kissweather on the outside of Chris Wright. That's Chris Wright on the bottom, all by himself. His closest help behind him is Braden Holt. Well, Braden Holt, but now side by side with Nick Kapiak. As everyone's just fanning out in front. It's kind of hard to tell who's going to be side by side with who off the corner. Chris Wright now side by side with Mark Kissweather going down into turn 3. As Kissweather way up the racetrack right up against the outside wall. You can see if Wright can use it to clear, and he will. It's a good move there for Chris Wright. Side by side now. Giovanni Klein and Jonathan Parker, but now Cole Steiner, sorry. But Klein slots behind him as Mark Kissweather gets out in front. A single file now through the field. We'll see the fan out here once again going into turn 3. Everyone seems to be a lot more calm so far here in stage number 2.
There's one.
A lot more single file.
Yeah, I think they kind of know the limits now a little bit. What they cannot do. I think the aggression level probably tapered down a little bit. Also, at the end of the stage, people are doing pretty aggressively as well. But we'll see what happens here for this longer run. Also, some of these drivers have newer tires like Nick Kapiak. He hit last caution there as well, so he's up to some places, a little bit fresher tires, and his driver's up ahead of him. So we'll see how big of an advantage that plays out for him these next probably 10 laps or so.
Yeah, but also we saw that with Mark Kissweather. He got up to the field really good, starting from the back, but once he got up to the top 6, he's just kind of stalled out, couldn't find his hole in on the outside lane. So we'll see how well Happy I can do that with those fresh tires. He's kind of tagging along, still a little bit farther back from the top 5 as they've kind of pulled away, and then this round 5th, 6th kind of strung out just a little bit, and then the rest of the field single file behind them. Now Braden Holt on the bottom getting help from Hunter Peach is now he's going to clear. Now this battle for the race lead starting to shape up just a little bit as now Parker, Snyder, and Klein have really closed the gap back in. As now Parker's on the back bumper of Ethan Futzek and Moreno down the front straightaway. Parker down to the bottom, trying to take him high maybe here, but down to the turn 1, they're all going to go to the top side. Giovanni Klein goes the highest out of all of them. Can he try and get his right rear on that corner panel? Get on the right rear of Cole Steiner, but it's not going to be enough. It's actually going to allow Maggio to the bottom. Maggio slots back up in line, and he's single file again down the back straightaway. GP has to run going into 3, and maybe he can make a move on the car in front. Down the front straightaway, they all snake down the front straightaway, back up to the outside at 1 and 2. It's really just single file train, trying to break that draft. No one can break the run, get enough run to go to the outside, because now they know on the bottom, just the freight train on the outside lane is just so much bigger. Especially now, actually, the track has heated up. Let's take a look at our track temp and our weather so far tonight. so far tonight. It's been 74-degree ambient temperature, 118-degree track temp. So it started around 115. So it's been going up 3 degrees, but partly cloudy and about 6-mile-per-hour winds around the southwest, teetering between the south and southwest. 40 to 34% relative humidity. So it's just been a hot racetrack. It's only been getting hotter as we're getting later into the day. Only 150 in the sim time. So it's only getting hotter, especially with these cars driving on the racetrack and the track now, especially getting a lot more rubber into it. It's still very slick down the bottom. It's getting hard to it's hard to keep it together and keep speed down there. That's what these drivers are struggle with.
Yeah, you can see just how loose some of these drivers have gone up the corners. You've seen Giovanni Klein get a bit loose sometimes. Maggio get a bit loose sometimes in the longer runs. Once these tires start to wear, those rear tires start to give out just a little bit off these exits of the corners. So you guys just have to manage your right rear tires.
Also, I feel like it could be a little bit of, as well, just kind of a push tight, push loose off the corner as well, because you know these race cars can get a little bit tight, especially after just running the outside a little bit. That right front really gets overheated and really gets tight, and they kind of start to snap off the corner. These next gens really love to do that. But also, we're coming into the final few laps of the stage. This time out will be 6 laps to go here in stage number 2. So we'll see how aggressive these drivers will get for stage 2, knowing there's not going to be a caution after it, and how they could go all the way green to the end. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, I mean right now about 20 laps on this tank of fuel and tires, so they can go about 20 or so more. So expect pit stops around lap 60, so quite a bit away still, but right now they're looking pretty good. It's Nick Capiak picking off these drivers one by one with those little fresher tires that he has.
He is trying to get there, trying to get up through the field, but we'll see if that can happen, because help him, because he can also go a little bit longer on fuel as well, so that allows him to overcut, and that could be a pretty big advantage as well with the overcut. That happened before, but also at the end of the stage, we get a caution a few laps after. If we do have a caution for someone trying to push for that stage position and cause a wreck, it could be a fuel mileage race, and we saw that happen before last time we were here in the NAOR Cup Series. They came down, the 2 drivers out in front, and they both made it with just enough fuel. But Ethan Fonseca Moreno kind of getting a little bit of a gap between Jonathan Parker as they're kind of starting to string out a little bit. The tires really starting to wear as the track has been just getting hotter and hotter, and the tires just matter more and more, especially after 20 laps now. Drivers really starting to struggle with their tire grip, but they can go about 8 more laps. They can make it to the end on fuel, so fuel window opens about 8 more laps. You kind of expect them to pit after about 34 laps would have been the even split. So that will be lap number 52. So about 10 more laps would be the even split on fuel.
As those 2 drivers single file throughout the field, we have some battling here around 13. Positioning a few more packs as well. Just kind of little packs of cars. Got Marquez winner there. Bad qualify for him. He was running up front earlier. Now down to 11. Side by side with Sam Wade right there and Nathan Lamont.
Well, the leaves on the bottom for Marquez there. Actually, if it caused a little bit of a stack up on the outside, it's actually got loose on the outside as well. So the field's starting to spread out now. Everyone's just trying to search for grip in what lanes they can. The draft's starting to matter less and less, but now this time by 2 laps to go in stage number 2. And Jonathan Parker going to try and close the gap down to Moreno. We'll see how aggressive he gets for the stage win.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be too super aggressive, but we'll see how it plays out.
So far, Moreno holds the lead, but Parker's got a good run. Giovanni Klein ran the top lane there in 1 and 2 from 3rd, but didn't really make much ground. Just the track's so hot now, the grip just matters more, just managing grip through the corner. It's the runs off the corner that not mattering as much. Right now, Jonathan Parker on the bottom has a good run off of turn 4. Coming to the final lap for stage number 2. Parker with a good draft. He's going to look to the bottom. He's going to try to go side by side for the race lead. 1 to go in stage number 2.
Side by side, a little bit side driving for Jonathan Parker on Ethan front second Moreno. Dive it down into turn 1 and 2. Parker is clear. Will he do a slider? Yes, he will. He clears. Not quite. Moreno goes a little bit higher. But I think Parker should clear off of turn 2 officially. Yes, he does. Will Moreno send in to turn 3 and 4?
5 ran the high lane in 1 and 2 there, but had to get slowed down a little bit by Stephen Maggio. But here we go for the stage win. Parker runs a little bit lower. Moreno runs higher. As now it's going to set him up for the stage win off of turn number 4. Can Moreno, does he have enough of a run to get there to the line? I don't think he does. The line coming closer and closer. He's going to get to the outside, but not enough. Jonathan Parker will pick up stage number 2. They're going to stay green, though, so they're still side by side for the race lead as Jonathan Parker wins stage number 2.
As they're still side-by-side racing, Will Parker's let him go and start saving his tires once again. As they're 3 wide behind for third. And the Capiak trying to make the outside lane work. As here comes Hunter Peach now. Gonna go try to get 3 cars at one time. Will he be able to do it?
He's gonna be able to do it.
Yes,
what
he
a move
will.
For Hunter
wow.
Peach. As Nick Capiak was trying to make his way through, keep in mind he's on the fresher tires compared to these up in front, maybe about 5-6 laps. As here comes Chris right to the bottom, almost a staggered 4 wide there for a second. Now back to staggered 3, but now side by side between just Chris Wright and Nick Capiak. I think Wright's gonna slot back in line. He's actually gonna barely hold the inside, but all this battle is allowing those top 2 of Ethan Moreno and Jonathan Parker pull away. But now Hunter Peach, he's up to 3rd. He's trying to chase down these top 2.
Yeah, he also has fresh tires as well compared to his drivers up ahead. I mean, Happyak on the same set of tires and same laps as well. There's really caught up to these top 2 drivers, and those fresh tires, those fresher tires, I should say, are paying off right now. Top car ahead.
Lap car Josh Arnold getting caught up in that last caution. A lot of front end damage there. Off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Jonathan Parker holding P number 2, trying to chase down the Ethan Moreno, but one that has been flying these past few laps is Hunter Peach. He's now up for the race lead. He wants to take this race lead away. He's been flying these past few laps. He's been much faster than these race leaders.
Yes, he has, and also Stephen Maggio into the picture now. He's top 4, kind of pulling away. Happyak not too far behind either. You're going to speak to the outside. Peach for a second. Side by side. In the background there, I think there's Bonnie flying. Great Holt.
Great Holt moving his way up. I believe was one of the drivers that pitted last caution. But down the back straightaway, single file for this top 3. Hunter Peach is pushing Parker up to Moreno. Now Peach gonna have to break these teammates up. Down the front straightaway, Peach closing the gap, and now kind of a little separated a little bit off of Parker, off of 4. But now with 40 laps to go, the pit window is open. I don't think we expect to see anyone down for at least probably 5 more laps. We could try and see someone try to pit now and try to get a big undercut on these race leaders. But the fuel window is open, so we could see pit stops anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to come in anytime soon, but Peach up to 2nd now, maybe up to the race lead here in this moment.
Good move down the bottom, had that grip on the, lost a little bit of the nose, just a little bit, but now he's going to be to the inside of Moreno, going to be side by side, he's going to barely slot up in that line right between Moreno and Parker, but Parker's going to try and force his way to the outside. It's going to work as Moreno goes all the way down the bottom to try and break the draft, and it's going to work out for Moreno. It's now going to be side by side for a second between Jonathan Parker and Hunter Peach. Peach on the bottom, going to get that side draft from Jonathan Parker through down the back straightaway. He's going to slot behind Parker, so have to try and do it again. And out of this run, with 40 laps to go, these drivers pitted with 68 to go. especially that caution that made it down to about 60 to go. So drivers can only go to about probably 20 to go, which will be in about 10 more laps. Should see some pit stops in a bit. But Nick Capiak, keep in mind, he can go a little bit longer as he pitted that last caution. But now Leonard Peach got clear Parker once again. He's all over back bumper of Ethan Fonseca row. And Leonard Peach just look at, he has so much running grip. He's going to have contact with Parker on turn 4. He's going to send him way down the racetrack. He's going to come back up. He's going to save it, a great save in that 20 machine on Leonard Peach. But that's going to cost him loads of time. As actually Nick Capiak was able to take the opportunity from that. Now he moves up to second.
That's three wide behind, Parker in the middle now. As he drops all the way down to 5th place for now. Here comes Chris Wright with a good run off of turn 2. He goes try to move himself in the top 5 spot as Ethan Fonseca now has a half a second lead over the rest of the field.
Yeah, that gave him a big buffer, but we'll see if Nick Capiak with the fresher tires, if he chased down Ethan Fonseca Moreno. As Leonard Peach had so much better tires, it felt like he's so much better through the corner, was just able to maintain his grip and maintain a perfect skew kind of through the corner with this tire. It worked out for him. And then he had a little bit of contact with Sean Parker there. That slowed him out.
There's once again a single file back out, but Capiak and Maggio working together to try to get the Ethan Fonseca Moreno. But Moreno now pulling away a little bit now, and Nick Capiak past lap or so.
He's trying to get there. He's got the help from Stephen Maggio now and Jonathan Parker. As those 4 single file trying to push each other up, but now Maggio looks to the bottom, trying to stay second away. This time by, we have 34 to go, so this was halfway when these guys pitted. So you can start to see them come down pit road here in the next 5 or so laps. They can only go about 6 more laps on fuel anyways. Maybe a little bit longer because that caution allowed them to save just probably a little bit more fuel. We'll see who will come down pit road. You know, Nick Capiak can go about probably 5 to 6 laps longer than these drivers on fuel. So he can go to about 20 to go. Just kind of, when will these drivers make their pit stop? That's going to be the question. The Stephen Maggio had a good run through 1 and 2 there. He's actually going to hop up and clear Nick Capiak down the back straightaway. Going to be single filing back out for 2nd through 6th of Chris Wright. He's in that green juice better car on the outside lane. Only driver on the outside. He's got Hunter Peach behind him. As Hunter Peach, he's been trying to gain his ground back up ever since that contact with Jonathan Parker. Stephen Maggio, we'll see, can he chase down our race leader of Ethan Fonseca Moreno, as Moreno has a 1.2 second gap, as he actually was a 10th faster than Maggio, but this is working out perfectly for Moreno. Just how big that gap is from the gearbox camera there.
Yeah, right now, fuel window is open. Some of these drivers might be coming out pit lane here soon. As soon as it's up, here he comes. First driver down pit lane.
It's going to slow down to pit speed, and he will do that perfectly. As Giovanni Klein will follow him behind. So now we could see the overcuts versus the undercuts. We'll see if some drivers take the big undercut, like overcut. We could see Nick Capiak stay out really long. He can go probably another 10 laps compared to Ethan Fonseca Moreno. He could stay out very long, and he could try to use that overcut to his advantage and maybe pick up the race win. He can't go out too long, so you don't lose too much time, but it could work out for Nick Capiak, especially how hot the track temp is here and how fast the tires are wearing. Here comes Braden Holt. He comes down pit road as he peels off for the lead pack. As now Maggio has the race lead, and now they're side by side for second between the Juicy Spider machines. As Chris Wright on the outside lane, he's going to clear Nick Kapiak there for second. And Jonathan Parker up there in fourth, running that outside lane. Another Beaches stamped down pit road as well. Justin Quimby, Stephen Brynock.
Last season we saw a lot of times some drivers take 2 tires. I just don't think you can do that here at Auto without how hot the track is and how much the tire wear has been so far here tonight. I just don't think a 2-tire strategy would work out for anyone really.
Don't know if it would happen, but we could see it happen with Nick Kapiak. He might try it as he can go very long. As he Fonseca Moreno now leads that lead pack as he now gets his lap back from Stephen Maggio. But no one else up front has pitted. But there is Braden Holt, and he was up too far. He was about a couple seconds back off of Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Now he merges behind the lead pack, Hunter Peach as well. So Steve Hunter Peach and Steve Braden Holt with the few lap overcut on Ethan Fonseca Moreno if they can close that gap in.
Well, let's see what they can do here. I mean Nick Kapiak's in the overcut here, and the field, you know, when Moreno was the first driver to do the undercut, so no one was able to undercut him, but we'll see if these drivers can overcut him these next 28 laps or so. I mean, Kapiak, he did pit last caution, so he can go as long as he can probably go around 7-8 more laps on these set of tires. Let's take a fuel. So I mean, you could see him do around a 10 lap fresher tires than Ethan Fonseca Moreno at the end of this one. So has a pretty big advantage here at a track like Auto Club. Just gotta hope he doesn't have any cautions.
Here comes Maggio in. Here comes Maggio and Chris right behind him. As they're all going to come down pit road. Parker follows as well. Nick Kapiak going to be able to stay on the racetrack. Oh, Parker a little close to the cone there. Could have been a penalty there, but no one blocked for speeding so far. Everyone clean down pit road. Now those drivers up front. Nick Kapiak, the only driver that remains out of the front pack that was left as Hunter Peach gets by him now. Oh, got caught around in the back straightaway. Giovanni Klein way down the apron. He gets back up. He got really loose off of turn number 2, but he's going to get back going. No caution there. He lost big time off of turn number 2. That's going to cost him a lot of time. He's already came down pit road. That's going to cost him a huge chunk of time. But Braden Holt, a few lap overcut, 3 seconds back from Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Oh, about 2 now, maybe about 2.5. Can he close down and maybe steal this race away? And Jonathan Barker comes off pit road there, as well as Braden Holt just got by him. Hunter Peach just getting by him as well. But Nick Kapiak, keep an eye out for him. When will he come down pit road? Nick Kapiak expected to go maybe about 20 to go. That's as long as he can go. We'll see how much longer he stays out. He doesn't want to go too long on this overcut because then he'll lose too much time. It could have worked out for him. So far, Nick Kapiak staying out of the racetrack. Nathan Leba, Mike Campbell also staying out as well. Zachary Meredith. Those top 3 were the ones that topped off part of the caution. So the top 4 so far: Zach Meredith, Mike Campbell, Nathan Lehman, and Nick Kapiak. Yet to pits. Ethan Fonseca Moreno sitting in 5th, the first driver that's coming down pit road. I think Nick Kapiak, yes he is. Nick Kapiak coming down pit road this time by about an 8-lap overcut compared to Ethan Fonseca Moreno. We'll see where he cycles out and how much he can gain. But he's going to have to get by a lot of drivers as well. This time by will be 24 laps to go. As Nathan Lehman has inherited the race lead as he stays out on the racetrack. Ethan Fonseca Moreno off of turn number 4. He has Braden Holt, his closest competitor, behind him, about 2.5 seconds back. So Braden Holt not making a lot of time. He's actually a little bit slower, even with the overcut, compared to Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Hunter Peach trying to close that gap down as well. Jonathan Parker, they're all on the overcut. This Parker is faster. Peach slightly faster, 0.2 faster than Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Steven Maggio is about 0.2 faster as well. Chris Wright actually around the same speed. So these drivers kind of all even pace. So we'll see if Nick Hapiak, if he can make that gap up. Let's say the name on Zach Camara if they come down pit road. So Mike Campbell, the only driver yet to pit. Now if he gets a caution here before he has to come down pit road, he's got to pit in about 3 more laps at the most. Could catch a caution and maybe cycle out of the race lead, but here comes that 71 machine. Mike Campbell going to come down pit road. That's going to give Ethan Fonseca Moreno the race lead, about 15 seconds as Moreno rounds off of turn number 2. So it's been a while, but Mike Campbell still holds the race lead. But this time by will be 23 laps to go for Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Can he hold off the drivers on the overcut? Just show you how much time Nick Hapiak lost on pit road, just staying on the racetrack for so long. He is 12 seconds behind Ethan Fonseca Moreno. I think he just lost so much time there. I feel like he may have lost a little bit of time just off pit road as well. Now this will be the battle for second between Braden Holt and Hunter Peach.
And Jonathan Parker and Steven Maggio not too far behind as well. We'll see how quickly Peach makes work of Holt. Okay, he's quite easily.
Yeah, gets by pretty quickly there. So far, Moreno holds lead by 3 seconds over Hunter Peach and Braden Holt, as this actually that battle was helping him out there. But we'll have to keep an eye on Nick Hapiak. He's 12.7 seconds back. He's actually similar lap time to Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Last time by was the same lap. So just the tires not wearing for Ethan Fonseca Moreno, and the tires it's not coming into factor.
Maybe we just kind of not sure. They're only a tenth slower than their fastest lap time right now. So if you compare Ethan Fonseca Moreno's fast lap time to his last lap time, as you can see on the screen right there, he's only a tenth slower, and he's already been on these tires for about 10 laps. So the tire has not been, there's been no tire pretty much, which we haven't really seen all night long. We've seen a little bit of tire at least, but wow.
The track tip has dropped back to 111 degrees, so this drop that has been the lowest has been all night long. The tire could be a little bit cooling, but we've seen it recently here at Auto Club before. The Auto Club the overcut did work in the Undisputed Cup Series with Keith Long. It was kind of working. He was closing that gap down. He's kind of stalled out with just a few seconds left, and he was really far back. It was working out, but it's not kind of working out here. There's different track conditions between the leagues. And also just the tire wear, and also that race was at night, and this race in the middle of the day. It was just the more tire wear, more prominent lead at night. But so far, Nick Hapiak down to 12.3 seconds. But you could also see maybe he needs about 10-15 laps for the tires to really start to show some wear. But Ethan Fonseca Moreno that time by 41.379. He still holds a gap over Hunter Peach by about 3 seconds. Still just under 20 to go. But Hunter Peach pulling away from Braden Holt. Is Braden Holt now under attack from Jonathan Parker? As Jonathan Parker looks to the outside with Braden Holt side by side for third. Steven Maggio right behind him. As Jonathan Parker got the move done on the outside lane, we'll see if he can chase down Hunter Peach and chase down Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Moreno now, I think the tires starting to show some some degradation as now we starting to fall off a little bit. 41.4 that time by. Trying to reach a 41.2. Trying to reach now, ripping the outside wall there in 1 and 2. I think we're starting to see a little bit of tire wear now, but for the race leaders. So Ethan Fonseca Moreno, that time by 41.5. The tire is starting to fall off for him. As now Peach 41.4. You're starting to pull the gap back just a little bit. Now he's ripping the top lane of the racetrack. He can do that too much. It'll easily eat up his right front tire. But now Maggio on the back bumper of Jonathan Parker for third. As now they're trying to push up to Hunter Peach.
Zoo, big blocks there, Zoo. Maggio blocks Holt there, trying to make moves to the inside.
Little bit of overdrafting down the front straightaway between Jonathan Parker, Steve Maggio, and Braden Holt as they're all aggressively pushing each other, trying to get closer to the cars in front of them. Nick Kapiak this time's finally starting to make some ground. It's last time I was 4/10 faster than a race leader, but he's still 11 seconds back. Just that even at that pace, it just won't be enough. As now he's got traffic to deal with as well. So Nick Kapiak, I think he worked back up to maybe about 7th. He can catch up to Giovanni Klein, maybe Chris Wright. We'll see. Keep an eye on that gap between the 6 and our race leader. But right now, Ethan Fonseca Moreno out in front by still about 3 seconds as his lap times is eaten out for the race from the rest of the field behind him.
As they continue to race pretty hard for around 3rd. Each trying to pull away from the judges behind. Parker and Maggio still going at it for 3rd place, side by side into turn 3 and 4 now.
Side by side down into turn number 1, turn number 3, as Maggio gonna clear up in front of Parker. It's gonna work out for him, and now he moves up to 3rd. We'll see if he can chase down Hunter Peach. Side by side between Peach and Maggio, the battle for 2nd. We'll see if Maggio can hold off. It's not going to be enough. While we have the moment, we haven't got the chance to do it yet. We'll take this moment to do a little bit of our, also is sponsored this season for NAOR, or Juicy Spider, LRN, Crank It Up here from Fontana. it up segment as Ethan Fonseca Moreno still holds the race lead. Steven Maggio, he's got up to second, got by Hunter Peach, and he's kind of been closing that gap down to Ethan Fonseca Moreno. He's brought the gap down to 2.5 seconds, now 2.2 that time by the line. So Maggio's putting the time in now, 2/10 per lap faster. He still needs to put some extra, a little bit more. This time by will become the 8 to go. Maggio's closing that gap, but right now the battle back for third between Hunter Peach, as he's really loose off turn 2. He's gonna hold on to it. He's gonna be able to stay in front of Brendan Holt and Jonathan Parker. He still holds on to it. He still holds on to third. But now they're side by side for fourth between Holt and Parker going into 3.
Side by side, Parker gonna clear there and stay ahead of Holt for now. Off for turn 4. Holt with the crossover move down the front straightaway. You could be side by side, almost in the 1-2, not quite. They stay single file for now. But back to Nick Kapiak, who's the freshest tires on the field, as they're really duking out here for round 10. Brock Morris in 10th place, Cole Steiner in 9th.
Cole Steiner on the bottom of the inside of Brock Morris. It's Giovanni Klein right in front of them and Jared Skinner right behind him. But they're actually not too far behind this battle, maybe about 5 seconds back from our top 3, or third place, or battle for 4th. Nick Kapiak trying to close that gap down, trying to get to Chris Wright. Maybe Braden Holt, he could get close there. Maybe still pick up a top 5 to where he was running before he pitted. Yeah, for the race lead down to 1.9. Maggio has been gaining about 2/10 per lap, and now that last time by was only about 1/10 faster. But it's just not going to be enough for Maggio. He needs to maybe gain about 3/10 per lap at this point. He wants to make it to the end, wants to get to Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Just not close enough. Braden Holt getting by Hunter Peach now, as Peach thinks has really hurt his tires. Burned up his tires. But Cole Steiner, Brock Morris, Jared Skinner, Giovanni Klein still battling out for 8th place position. As Giovanni Klein a little bit of a wall now, 3 wide for that spot. As Cole Steiner into the middle, Brock Morris down on the bottom. As now Steiner back up to the top lane, blocks Giovanni Klein. But on this battle one of these misstep a little bit, bring out a caution here late. Could shake up the entire race. So Brock Morris up the racetrack behind right in front of Cole Steiner. Cole Steiner getting loose as he did that.
That's a good round though, taking the green 4. I know he wants to stay behind for now.
It's their closest battle on the racetrack. It's Cole Steiner, Brock Morris. It's Cole Steiner really starting to struggle with that tire grip now. Really getting loose off the corners.
5 laps to go, and Steven Maggio has brought the gap down to 1.3, so you can maybe get in the drafting range on Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Make this thing interesting in the white flag.
It's going to be a bit harder though once he gets in that dirty air. That car's going to handle differently. See, Maggio can close the gap, but it's 1.5 this time by. Can he close it down? 4 to go now for Ethan Fonseca Moreno. At this pace, he's got enough to just hold on and pace it around. It's got 1.448 at the line. Just don't know if Maggio has enough. He's only about a 10th, maybe 2/10 faster than Ethan Fonseca Moreno. He's got to gain a little bit more per lap. About half a straightaway behind, but Hunter Peach staying right behind Braden Holt. Chris Wright not too far behind them as well. The battle back in 8th is kind of all split up as well. So now it's Hunter Peach and Braden Holt battling for that 4th place spot. Steven Maggio brings the gap down again with 3 to go, down to 1.2. It's just not enough. He needs to get close. Hope Moreno makes a mistake. He's closing it down, but it's just getting closer and closer. But maybe if he had maybe an extra 5 laps, he could get there. But Braden Holt now right in front of Hunter Peach. This battle for 4th. not going away. Peach is just trying to go to the outside lane, knowing the bottom's just not good for him. But 2 to go for Ethan Fonseca-Moreno out in front. So by will be the white flag. But Hunter Peach shot looks high there into 1 and 2. Not going to be enough. Tries to get the nose there on the outside. He's going to be there. What a drive.
Watch out for Chris
around
Wright.
the outside.
Chris Wright not too far behind.
Watch the wall there for Hunter Peach, but down into 3. Ethan Fonseca-Moreno just has to get it back to the white flag. He hoping there's no caution. But off of turn number 4, Ethan Fonseca-Moreno will take the go time cards. 1 to go here from Fontana. 2 miles to go to pick up the season opener for Ethan Fonseca-Moreno. As Maggio, he's got within a second, but it's just not close enough.
As now Parker under attack from Peach for 3rd.
And here comes Chris Wright trying to get by Brayden Holt as well.
He will.
As he's going to be at that move. As Parker's going to have one last chance into 3-4. He's got a good run side by side with Peach. As he's going to clear before he gets to the 3. But off of turn 4, Ethan Fonseca-Moreno, he got the stage number 1 win. He took the lead, managed the tires as well as he could, and he's going to pick up the win at Fontana.
Oh,
but
they're
now
knocking
the battle
behind.
for Peach, he goes around with Chris Wright as well. They go around off turn 4. Nick Capiak, he's going to pass both of them at the line, and Nick Capiak steals the top 4. Top 5.
Peach is still not cross line. He finally crossed line in 12th place. We'll see like a replay of that, what happened there.
So off of turn 4, Peach up the
Just
racetrack.
got
Oh,
loose.
got loose.
Wow.
And goes down right into Chris Wright. And just Chris Wright, nowhere to go there. Just a big push right up the corner. Just pushing as hard as he could, coming to the checkered. They both make contact, and Nick Capiak able to sneak in a top 5. As Chris Wright crosses the line backwards. But Steven Maggio got within half a second, but it just was not enough. And Ethan Fonseca-Moreno will go to victory lane to start season 6 and win the season 6 opener. He was getting chased down by Maggio a few laps to go, but just had enough left. Enough of those tires left to hold on. He will be going to victory lane to start season 6, so we are points leader, as he also did pick up the stage 1 win earlier, but he's going to park that 92 machine in victory lane. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our top 3 interviews and our race results here from Fontana. Welcome back here to Fontana here at the Auto Club Speedway, as we just saw Ethan Fonseca Moreno win the Season 6 opener for the NAOR Cup Series season. Before we get to our top 3 interviews, let's take a quick look at our results for tonight's race. As we just saw Ethan Fonseca Moreno able to take the race win. Steven Maggio got close, but not enough. He able to pick up second. Jonathan Parker third. Braden Hall rounds out fourth. Nick Apiak able to sneak through and get a top 5 as Chris Wright and Hunter Peach coming together off of turn number 4. But Chris Wright was still round out 6th. Jared Skater 7th. Brock Morris finishing 8th. Cole Center finishing 9th. And Shivani Klein rounding our top 10. As Nathan Lamont finishing 11th, Hunter Peach finishing 12th, Justin Quimby finishing 13th, Sam Wade 14th, Mike Campbell finishing 15th tonight, Jake Millsap 16th, Zachary Merritt 17th, Stephen Brynock finishing 18th, Josh Arnold 19th, running our top 20 tonight, Sean Osborne our last DNF of the night, Mark Kisworth finishing 21st, Josh Adams finishing 22nd, and Kyle Taub running our 23 car field here tonight. But out front tonight, able to get it done, was Ethan Fonseca Moreno, and I don't see him in the Discord. We'll try and find him in a minute. But Steven Maggio, not in here as well, but we can bring in our third place finisher, Jonathan Parker. He was in here, but now he is not either. Oh, there's Steven Maggio. There's Jonathan Parker. There's Moreno. They all got in there. So there is our race winner. We'll take it down to go Pizza Wings victory lane for Ethan Fonseca Moreno. He got the lead at through the final stage. Also picked up the stage 1 win tonight. But overall, able to dominate that last half of the race. But coming to the end, Steven Maggio was hunting you down. What was going through your head those last 5 laps? Do you think he was going to get to you? What was your pressure like behind you there in those last few laps?
Yeah, he for sure had me on my toes there. He had way fresher tires. It's just all about me having to push the crap out of the car at that point. Yeah, it was. I tried that strategy to get away from the guys, just to not let them get in my draft. And I mean, honestly, it was a lot closer than I expected it to be. But he is a really good driver as well. He's really quick, so definitely had me on my toes for sure. And you know, it's always good to have a little battle between them there. Good stuff there.
Yeah, and you were able to hold the lead, and you were also the first one to pit out of that front group through that final pit stop there. So what was going through your head with that, the kind of the tire wear, and what was going through your head with that strategy call there during that final stage?
Yeah, I thought it was just gonna be a walk in the park, honestly, because I had saved my tires pretty good there, and I was able to pull away from the guys once I broke the draft from them. So I thought that if I would just like take tires early, even extend my gap even more, so that they wouldn't get my draft, was hoping that I'd save my tires enough so that it could equal out, and you know, they couldn't chase me down or anything. But just didn't happen that way. It just you know, he was chasing me down. His tires were a lot fresher than mine, so yeah, he put on a hell of a fight there.
You just held on just a few more laps. Probably would have got you, but you held on and able to pick up the season opener win tonight. Before we send you off on the way, any sponsor link for tonight's race win?
I gotta thank Mission Chips and Tortillas on the hood today. I gotta thank my buddies, racing cleaning today, JP, Steven, all the guys who were racing around, you guys as well for putting on a hell of a broadcast.
And congrats on your race win. We will see you next week at Kern.
Thank you.
So that was our race winner of Ethan Fonseca Moreno, able to pick up the season opener for Pizza Wings and go to Pizza Wings victory lane. But we'll bring in our second place finisher of Steven Maggio. He was closing that gap through those final 10 or so laps, but just came up half a second short. What do you think you could have done differently there to maybe gain that extra half a second and get that race win away?
You know, sometimes I look back at these races and I'm like, I don't really know what I could have done differently, but this is not one of those times. Pretty upset with myself I think I could have gotten through the second, third, fourth a bit quicker. Passing. I think it was Brady, Parker, and Hunter. At first I was like, oh, I'll work with you. Like I'll push you guys. Maybe we can get a draft train going. We'll catch them faster. And then I realized I was like, yeah, I'm just like my tires are way fresher than these guys, and I'm a bit faster. I just gotta go. But it was too late. I mean, like I needed like maybe 1 or 2 more laps at the end of the race there. I sat behind those guys for maybe 10 laps when I came out of the pits. So pretty disappointed I did that. I learned from it at least. And that's what I think the difference ended up being, because I was catching Ethan pretty good there at the end. He was getting really loose, and I'd been running 5th gear, so I was a little bit more snug than he was. And yeah, I just ran out of laps, but still happy with second.
And you still have that overcut advantage there, and especially with the tire wear. Just how was that tire wear tonight, and how it made the car handle? We saw a few drivers kind of slip and slide a little bit off the corner exits. Just how did that handle out there? How did it handle out there for you tonight, especially with that tire wear?
I liked it. I liked the setup a lot, actually. I felt like if you were driving in really hard, you were going to get tight as the run went on. And I mean, obviously you get loose off the corner pretty much regardless of what line you're running, but you can manage it. It was very manageable, and I thought that was fun. That first run, when I was in clean air and I was kind of trying to back up the pace a little bit, I was getting really, really loose, but I was saving the tires pretty well. But then once I started to go, like I said, the harder you drive into the corner, the tighter you're going to get. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, manageable, loose, but also you had to, watch your entry. If you drove it in too hard, you're gonna suffer the consequences of it.
You're able to manage it enough and still pick up a solid second place run for you tonight. But before you send it off anyway, and just want to like thank for tonight's second place run.
Yeah, thanks to you guys in the booth. I'm sure that was really good, or hopefully it was fun watching me try to run him down. And thank you to Josh for letting me race. As always, it was a fun race. And shout out my teammates. Well, we don't have teams, but shout out JP and Ethan. We kind of work together if we can. And congrats Ethan on the win.
Once again, congrats on your second place finish. We'll see you next week, Kern.
Thank you.
So that was our second place finisher of Steven Maggio. We'll bring in our third place finisher of Jonathan Parker, as he was able to win stage 2 earlier in the race, but having to battle his way through the field a little bit, trying to pass all night long. And you were one to make some moves. But just how tough out there tonight was getting those moves done, especially for the stage win, and also able to just kind of hold on for as much as you can through those final few laps, because you were really battling with Braden, Stephen, and Hunter throughout the final run there. And just how tough was it trying to get past the bud?
Well, it would have been tough on 4 tires, but 2 tires made that a gargantuan task. And it was my first race in over a month, so I was just coming here. I didn't want to do anything too stupid, and the strategy call was pretty stupid, but I thought I had to do something different to get to Ethan. And well, I didn't get anywhere near him, but I was able to get a podium, and like you said, get the stage win. That was very good too. So not a bad outing for the first race of the season.
Yeah, and you saw a very solid run for tonight, especially knowing that you didn't have any first race in a while, and it's kind of first race since your championship, I would assume. But you were able to pick up the championship last year in a very solid third place run to start tonight's race. So how you could build this momentum and carry it into the rest of the season, maybe pick up a championship?
Yeah, I'll bring the same mentality. Just every week's a new week, and if I hit my marks, eventually one of those races will go my way, and if not, then it just definitely wasn't meant to be. But yeah, we'll just go into Kern next week and try and be steady Eddie and hopefully come out victory lane.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting race at Kern next week, a very unique racetrack. But before we get there, before we send off anyway, any shots to thank for tonight's third place run?
I'd like to thank Lowe's Cobalt Tools and Mellow Yellow. I'm going to debut a new scheme next week because we're retiring the 2010 scheme. Because it won the championship, we'll retire it, and you guys will see which one will be next week. And I'd like to thank Christian Pacheco because he's going to make that, and he's awesome. I'd like to also thank Ethan and Steven. We were kind of in a voice chat together, working together, just bouncing off ideas, and it worked out. I wish I would have listened to them. Took 4 tires, but Yeah, it was a good first race for sure.
Yep, still a very solid third place run for you tonight. Looking forward to your debut of your new paint scheme next week. But once again, congrats on your third place win. We'll see you third place finish, and we'll see you next week at Kern Raceway.
Thank you guys.
So that was our third place finisher and our defending champion of Jonathan Parker. And now we head our sights to Kern Raceway next week. That's definitely going to be a unique racetrack coming from the 2 mile 2 mile racetrack of Auto Club, going to a kind of a short high banked racetrack of Kern. Very unique, kind of like a D-shaped oval, but it's a short track, and it's definitely very unique compared to the most other short tracks we see.
Yeah, it's probably closest to Richmond maybe, but even then, I mean, there's nothing like Kern Speedway. I've never driven an iRacing before, and these next-gen cars, who knows how it's going.
It's definitely going to be very unique next week. But before we get there, we got a few more events coming up here next on the Legends Racing Network. Sunday night, we'll have the Stampede Racing League Cheese Spider Premium Series. They'll be going to Sonoma at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And on Monday night, we'll have the 5 Points Racing League Turnkey Network Solution Series. They'll be going to Pocono at also 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And on Wednesday night, we'll have the Superstar Cup, their final race before they split into East and main events. So, at Myrtle Beach at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. And also on Thursday night, we'll have the Undisputed Cup Series. They'll be going to Rockingham at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. And next Friday night, we'll have the for the NAOR Cup Series, race number 2 of season number 6. They'll be going to Kern Raceway at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So we'll hope to see you all there in our upcoming events here on the Legends Racing Network. But so long here tonight, I'm Aaron Brown, joined alongside my co-commentator and producer of Talent Drake tonight. So long from Fontana. We'll see you next time here on the Legends Racing Network.